Okay.
Okay, or they use it because it also brings down the blood pressure, but it also increases the circulation in the muscles. You know, so a lot of athletes are taking that as well as a performance enhancer because, for the bodybuilders and all that, you look a bit more jacked, you know, okay, because it has the effect to open up your blood vessels, vasodilator. Okay, so you look a bit more jacked, but in the same time, you improve the circulation, right, in the muscle. So more chances that you're gonna remove the metabolites more effectively. You know, it's a better blood supply, better nutrient supply, and oxygen. So there's a lot of good reasons also behind everything. Same goes with the creatine, for instance, right? So it's not only for the gym freaks, okay, but it is also for those the cognitive enhancement and so on and so forth.
So like for example, if let's say a person would have mental fog, right? Let's say they wake up and then they're like, oh, you know, I can't remember where things are placed, or I'm always...
No, when I wake up, I can't remember when the things are, that's called hair of the dog, you know, that's horrible. That's you drank too much, you know, yesterday.
You just wake up and then you're like, what was I supposed to do today?
Oh my God, where I am, yeah.
No, I know where I am. It's just that I can't remember what I need to do. But talking about creatine, so in our previous chat, right, I mentioned to you that my personal journey with creatine wasn't really fun.
All right, guys. First of all, then another thing everyone has to understand that we are not talking about like instant effect, like immediate now. All right, you want the immediate effect of reawakening, a bit more alertness. Have a cup of espresso coffee.
The caffeine gives you that rush.
Yeah, just have a cup of coffee. Unless it's contraindicated for you, you have the blood pressure issues, or you're pregnant, you know, something. Okay, here it's the supplementation. We are not talking about rapid actions.
So it's not going to happen overnight.
We are talking about programmatic approach.
Correct.
We are talking about life and health span management. So in the very beginning, when we start talking, starting our conversation, we have mentioned that nowadays when people meet, they talk only about money or they talk about health.
Yeah.
When you talk about money, you have a plan, and you start when your parents start. Okay, same has to go with a health plan. First of all, every individual who is conscious and conscientious about their children, their heirs, and the future generations and all, they have to start thinking of what are we doing to our body at this moment that might potentially negatively affect the next generation, you know, my children and all. And that food and all that has that epigenetic damage, especially in women.
Okay.
Excuse me. Right? And then you have to think of what are you doing when you're grown up, since you're young, since you're a child, what are you putting in? The input, it's the food, it's the nutrients, you know. And it's something that we mentioned also in our previous conversation, that you see, you gotta take care of yourself.
Of course.
You know, you gotta take care of yourself. And when you eat, it would be especially when you are already in trouble.
When you already have a health condition.
When you have a health condition. When you are at that point that you got the wake up calls already, right? Or you are at that point when you have achieved that a moment of self-realization, like, oh, I gotta do something, right? So you have to stop looking at food as an enjoyment. You have to stop looking at that as a pleasure. You have to start looking at things from the point of view of necessity. Is it my necessity?
Correct.
All right, yes, well, definitely it is. So what is my necessity? What is my requirement? Because you gotta understand that the intuitive feeding, or just I'm fed on demand, has to stop. The fed on demand.
It's like, oh, it's time to eat, so I eat.
No, a fed on demand means I'm hungry, I want to eat.
Okay.
I feel like eating I'm hungry, but I don't have a healthy food. I just have this particular bun, and I have that junk or this junk. I'm going to compromise for that.
And it's a craving, right? Like sometimes I just want a cheeseburger.
Yeah, sometimes I have this craving,
and
sometimes
fries.
I have that craving. Yeah, sometimes I have the chocolate craving.
Oh my gosh, it's always on my desk.
Yeah, it's because you're not taking magnesium.
Because I love chocolate.
No, it's because you're not taking magnesium. The craving for chocolate is one of the symptoms of the low magnesium.
Wait, so hold on. So are you saying that if I take adequate magnesium, I would stop?
Right. And when I said that, stopping eating sugar and then stopping eating processed food, it's not even scratching the surface. It's to take something that has been already there. These are examples that are used by everyone.
Wait, hold on.
But then we can make another step.
Okay.
Eat any food from the modern agriculture.
Organic?
No, eating food from the modern agriculture, I mean the mass agriculture.
GMOs?
No, it's not even about that. That itself is a risk of depleted magnesium levels.
Because the vegetables would not have it.
They would not have magnesium as they should have.
Got
so that's why if you look at all the lists, you will understand that I am talking about including a mineral in the essential list for longevity, which is magnesium. And I'm talking about like phosphatidylcholine, which is a structural compound as well for our body, or I'm talking about vitamin D, right? But in the same time, as an essential for the performance and for longevity, and I talk about the benefits, but in the same time, I put the multivitamins and I put the probiotics and collagen, and some other stuff in the overrated, like all the things that you can live without otherwise. You can do great without otherwise because there are alternatives, plenty of it. But in the case of magnesium, because the modern agriculture, as a lot of things have been changed, for the past few decades, and the soil even, and of course the end product from the vegetation and all the vegetables and all, the high chances that they might be significantly depleted in magnesium. And magnesium is a very important thing, it's the fourth most important mineral.
Okay.
Right in our body, and it is well, everyone talks about calcium, right? It's a strength in the bones, but magnesium is also in the bones. It's participating in mineralization.
Okay, hold on a minute, because you've mentioned that it triggers me as well. Like you mentioned that my craving for chocolate was because I like magnesium, but let's say if I'm taking supplements.
Well, I'm not giving it to you as a medical advice, but craving for chocolate, you can Google it. It's can be one of the signs of the magnesium deficiency.
No, because there was an interesting fact, because I know a lot of friends who, like me, have a sweet tooth, and we're always struggling with, trying to stay away from the sweet stuff.
Sweet tooth and having craving for chocolate is not the same. If you just have a sweet tooth and you want to compromise for anything sweet, like whether it's a jam or some kind of a jelly, or it's a cake or something sweet, it is an addiction.
So I'm addicted to sugar. So that's different from the...
That is addiction. That is a different...
Okay. So it's not about magnesium deficiency, but it's just that I'm addicted to sugar.
Yes.
Okay.
Because sugar is a highly addictive substance.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because I'm like, wait, I was thinking back about what you just said like a couple of minutes ago, and I'm like, I take supplements actually for calcium and magnesium, so why do I still crave chocolate? So that's why I was like, okay, maybe,
Are you taking supplement for magnesium? You're supplementing magnesium at what dose?
I think it's like 1000 mg or something.
Well, I think that's too much. It's unlikely that you're supplementing that much. Perhaps 400 max or maybe even less.
Because it's all put together. So they put calcium and magnesium usually as one, but then I think it's about like 1500 mg. I can't remember the exact, but I am taking some.
Just double check that. I'm not saying that you specifically, but I'm telling you it's possible.
All right.
Low on magnesium. And then even if you are taking it as a supplement, always check what is the dose. And then there are different forms of the magnesium supplement, and they might have a different bioavailability or the absorption rate might be different. Whether it's the malate,
okay,
and it's all gave that sort of a brief review on that. And
that's because I'm not absorbing it enough. Therefore, there could also be a reason why.
Well, possible you're not getting enough.
So technically, which leads to my next question. Like, so if I pop, let's say, assuming, if I remember correctly, it's 1,000 mg of magnesium, does my body really absorb the 1,000 or does it only?
I think it's actually less. I don't think it's 1,000 mg of magnesium. Okay. I don't see the reason why any company, any manufacturer would put 1,000 mg of magnesium, because eating too much magnesium will cause you upset tummy.
Oh yeah, I have that a lot.
What the reason to double check what exactly you're doing?
Okay, I have bloatiness and stuff, so not fun.
And for that could be also other reasons.
Oh my gosh, so that's again, when you start, one point.
Magnesium is more like cramps.
Cramp. Oh, okay. Well, I don't have the cramps. It's just more of the gasiness and the bloatiness. But that would be for another topic, I suppose, on gut health.
Another reason.
Understand. Okay.
But these all the same topics, the gut health or whatever, dental health or genitourinary health, everything falls in just health. So there's no minor things. There are no things that do not matter.
Okay.
A small problem can grow in a big problem,
and it
create big
spread things, right?
So may.
Okay, so back to what I actually wanted to ask you. I remember about creatine. So my experience with it wasn't so pleasant because maybe I'm thinking it could be the way I took it, or maybe it could be the combination of the creatine with that. Like usually I was told like I would have to take it with water. So I take my whey protein, and then once, while that's processing, I pop in my creatine like post-workout. But then I realized that it doesn't sit very well, and then it tends to go back up, and then I get it.
Ideally, you should have just mixed it. It should have been mixed together with the whey protein.
Not
and you
water.
need to just with the whey protein, and of course after that you add water, right?
Yeah.
And then you make a shake out of it.
Okay.
And there's another thing that preferably should have been added there, which is the glucose, because you need the transport. It's all about the delivery also. If you're just gonna consume it with water just like that, might not reach the destination.
No wonder. So I was wondering why I wasn't getting that energy boost, and then I had that horrible reflux that came up, and I was just tasting it in my mouth. So I was thinking like, this is strange. Like my body is rejecting it, or am I not taking it right?
And then
Is
again,
it brand?
you have to always check what product exactly you are taking. Is it a good manufacturer? Is it a good product? That matters. Not all products are the same. Not all molecules, which are supposedly written that it's this molecule. Yeah, but you need to read the small alphabets, the small words. What form of it. What type.
It's liquid creatine. So I walked in and I just told the pharmacist, my gym instructor, my PT says, buy liquid, creatine, and so he was like, okay, do this one. And so again, being a newbie to this, I was like, okay. And then I took it very, dutifully, and then I had that reaction and I stopped because it's kind of unpleasant, especially when you're going to bed, right? So I would work out and then, take the creatine, and then usually like probably an hour or two later, I'll be in bed, and then I would feel it just coming out at night, and it was so
well, of course, these things, as I said, there are no minor things, absolutely. There's no those negligible nuances. A small nuance can ruin your gains and can really tremendously damage your goals. Okay, I for instance, what is that? Say you have some goals, you want to lose weight, you are into the fitness, and you have specific days when you visit the gym.
Yeah.
And even the choice, not the proper choice of the day or the time of the day when you're gonna do the workout, then what is the relationship with the food? What type of food did you take? Was it a food high on carbs, something that will call you bloatiness, or something that will cause a lot of gas in your guts, or maybe promote the peristalsis, or you're gonna have the loose stool, or you're gonna have some unpleasant sensation and you can't train. You're not optimal, your system is not optimal, you're not 100%.
You're running at 50%.
Into that, you're not fully focused, because everything requires determination.
Correct.
You gotta be determined every minute. Right now, you're gonna be consciously aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, because the hunger, the forgetfulness, just being a human, all right, it will allow your hand to slip and grab the chocolate bar. You know, or get something extra, and you're off. You know, you're gonna make a step back a little bit, or you're gonna shift to the side.
Yeah.
But when you shift half of the degree left or right, it will make a couple of miles off from the target. You know, in a very, very, very long run. You know, unless of course you're gonna correct your route. You know.
Yeah, makes sense, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people also sort of give up trying to stay fit or get in shape.
They give up because they don't have guidance and they don't have partner, buddy, and instructor. They don't have a guide, a person who will take them there.
Correct.
A coach. Well, just let's call it coach. You know, a health coach or whatever. It can be a doctor, it can be whoever, but it has to be a pro. It has to be a second opinion.
It has to be an informed buddy. You know, it can't be
it has to be an informed.
Two of you like the same level, then it's like a blind leading the blind.
Yes, right.
You know, oh, I saw this on YouTube. I saw that hack. You know, do you want to try it? And then both of you do it, and then
you can try different stuff that you hear or see here and there. When you're very experienced, you know what you're doing. Well, you can try it. Okay, different techniques, and even with that, please be very careful. Please be very, very careful. I'm going to give you a very funny example. Very funny example.
All right.
There are even, this example is about me watching one particular YouTube channel.
Okay.
And on that YouTube channel, they give a lot of lectures about the fitness, about gains, about the program, how you build your program in terms of the exercise. Everything is super science based, you know, and all of that stuff. And the guys are with credentials, put it this way.
Okay, so it's not just some random person giving
they have degrees, you know, they have stuff that is pasted on the wall, you know, and their portfolio and their CV is fine.
Good.
Okay? And they demonstrate a specific technique. And they say, okay, do like this, and that, this, and that. They describe it. There's a person who is demonstrating it, a person who is explaining it. There's a whole breakdown. I've tried doing that stuff and I had an injury.
Oh.
Okay, I had an injury, not to say injury that I've like immediately, you know, I understood that I have an injury.
So you felt like you knew that you were going to get a certain ache or a pain in a certain part?
No, it wasn't meant for that. It was totally meant just to be super safe. It's going to be very effective.
Okay.
It's going to be great. It's a great technique.
Then how did you get injured?
Well, just by doing that. Okay. And then next day, I realized I had an injury.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then after watching some other videos from there and just, you know, try and analyze it more carefully, you know, and just trying to imagine and go through that, I understood that better don't follow these guys because, well, I didn't comment anything, you know, but there were things that I found, this is not safe.
I see. So
this is not safe. And I was looking at it that way. I was like, hold on a second. If I've done that and I got injured, okay, and I'm not a professional athlete, you know. I'm just a moron in all of this, you know. I just passionate moron.